Okay, Keir. So it's still quite windy here in another tough game against Fairford. It had pretty much everything. It had plenty of goals and plenty of cards to go with it. But we come away with the 3 points. You must be at the end of that delighted.
Yeah, result massive for us. To build on Saturday after the last-minute winner. To come down here midweek, was a little bit disappointed with how the clubs have dealt with the fixture tonight. Got told by Fairford that they were trying to call the game off at 5 o'clock. The referee couldn't get here till 6, so we had mixed messages if the game was on or off. There needs to be a clearer communication, I feel, there. So lads weren't getting here until 10 to 7 for a 7:45 kickoff. It's tough enough midweek without those sort of disruptions. So preparations weren't ideal, and when you come here, you have to look how well they played against us when we had them at home a couple of weeks ago. So you knew what sort of game it was. But the performance from everyone tonight was huge, and I mean in terms of character and belief, sticking together, work rate. Went down to 9 men. Late in the second half, I think maybe we played 20 minutes with 9 men, hanging on for 3-2. So the boys that finished the game on the pitch, credit to them, they wore the badge with absolute pride tonight and played for each other, played for the club. It really was such a relief, and that feeling of delight after coming off, because anyone that come down here tonight just seen how hard the boys worked. It was difficult to make substitutions because they were in almost a free shape, and the lads that were on there obviously knew the system that they were playing at the time, and I felt like the options that we had on there, I didn't want to disrupt that, so legs were getting heavy towards the end. So credit to all the boys that were on the pitch at the end of the game. Disappointed with Keatsy and Asa, their red cards. They should know better. They've been playing a long time now. 2 yellows for Keatsy, stupid, petulant, and then Asa's moment of madness, whatever you want to call it, was probably the best player on the pitch, along with Keatsy before he got sent off as well. Scored the third to make us at 3-1, and he's kicked out at someone in our box off the ball. The referee's seen it, given a pen, no complaints, and that's a straight red, and he'll now miss 3 games when that kicks in. And when you play for a club under me and the boys that we've got here, that sort of thing doesn't happen. So that'll be the first and last time he does it, or he'll find himself waiting weeks and weeks and weeks to play again. It's probably seen the best of him since he signed for us now, and then he'll be remembered for the red card. So yeah, really disappointed with that. But like I said, the boys that finished the game, magnificent. I thought individual standouts, obviously Higgs with the 2 goals. Bathy was brilliant from the start tonight. Chrissy and Nath, unbelievable. The back 4 when Jenksy moved into it, everything towards the end, and Brownie's really not had too much to do apart from come and claim a couple at the edge of his box. They've not been really knocking on the door too much, and I feel like when we go ahead in games, and we know how to dog them out, and I think that was evident of how well we played the last 20 minutes of the game, nearly 9-10 minutes of stoppage time, which I was just cursing your bad luck. When it's going on for that long, you're thinking maybe they're going to grab one, but we defended really, really well, led the line. Higgs, absolutely magnificent. I could speak about everyone again today. It's probably a never famous win for us this season. I don't think the table's updated yet to see what's happened, but I'm not really looking too much at that. Just really proud of the performance, and now we've got to prepare properly for Saturday against Westfields, which will, again, when we played them at home, we won 2-0, but probably one of the best teams that we've faced all year. So we'll have to go fully loaded and prepared, and another massive game for us over the course of this season.
One of the talking points before the game was the wind. Did it have much of an effect on your game plan tonight?
It was windy, but I think it was over exaggerated for sure. I got told that the conditions were unplayable. When we got here, the referee was confused about what the fuss was about, and I was the same. Yeah, it is windy, but we played in loads worse, so I wasn't sure about the communications beforehand, what's being said, and yeah, I was disappointed with that. on that front. But the wind was pretty bad, but nothing out of this world. Like it was playable, and it was a really, really good game of football. I must say, credit to Fairford. When both times we've played them now, it's been one of the toughest games. When you come off the pitch against them, you've been in a battle, you've been in a war. They've got some really, really top players, experienced lads, and I think if you look at their position in the table, they'll probably be disappointed that they're underachieving this year, because I think their side on paper should be a lot higher.
If you look at our fixtures for the rest of the season, I think bar one or two opponents, all of them are in the top 6. I think if we win most of them, we pretty much guarantee promotion ourselves. Is the thought from you and the players that every game's a final now to the end of the season?
Yeah, there's no choice. Every game is going to be a cup final. It's a massive cliche, and you hear it through the leagues. And I don't talk about it too much because I just don't like the thought of every game's a cup final, because you can't get yourself up for a cup final every single week, because it's just not the case. So yeah, I don't like to talk about it like that too much. But the fate of the season is in our hands. I think that out of every single team in that top 6, you could probably say they've got a couple of games that against maybe teams in the lower half. We've got everyone in and around the top 6 or 7 teams now. So every single week, if we're off the mark by a millimetre, or we're not at the races, or we're underperforming, you lose. Simple as that. There's going to be absolutely no margin for error, and it's an impossible task. I know that we're going to lose games. I know we're going to drop points. I know we're going to underperform, but we've got ourselves in a position now where I think after tonight that we've gone up to 3rd, a point behind Bradford on the same games. So we've got to play them. We've got to play everyone in and around us. And I think everyone's talking about it in the Hellenic League, like how amazing the competition is from 2nd to 8th or 9th, maybe even. That a couple of good results, you can see yourself flying up the table towards the top, and a couple of bad ones, you can see yourself fly down. You only have to look at when we lost against Fairford, we dropped down to 7th and 8th, and everyone was writing us off. The last minute winner, and backed up by an amazing away performance tonight, has then put us back in the hunt for it. So fate is in our hands. Massive games from now to the end of the season. Can we do it? Who knows? We'll give everything and try to do everything as a club. Joe behind the scenes, all the staff, all the players, myself, we'll give everything we can to try and do it. And a special mention to all the fans that travelled up here today. I think there was maybe like 15, 16 of us of the Corsham Ultras, if you like, coming up, and it's brilliant at the end to see them and give them a reward, because I'm very much appreciative of our away support. It's for our level of football, it is really, really good, and we get the same faces week in, week out. So yeah, made a massive difference tonight. So hats off to them.